Hello, hello. I'm Elizabeth Busby, the Director of Programs for the Theology of the Body Institute. Today we're going to talk about questions couples can ask each other when they're in pre-engagement. So as a recap, well, maybe not a recap, as an introduction to pre-engagement, if you've never heard the phrase before, pre-engagement describes that natural progression in a dating relationship where you are committed to each other, your boyfriend, girlfriend, and you're moving towards engagement, right? You're not engaged yet, but there's this stage where couples desire a deeper intimacy with each other. They desire maybe more assurance. They want to know, I guess, if the person that they're dating would be a really good fit. They maybe want to kind of divorce-proof their relationship, if you will. They want some more assurance that the person that they're with would be a good fit. And I call that I call that stage pre-engagement, okay? If you want more information, I made a whole video about it, so you can click it and watch it and then come back. But sometimes on these YouTube videos, I answer questions that I get from my podcast or my Instagram. And one of the questions I got was, can you give me a list of questions that couples should ask when they're in pre-engagement? Yes. I could do that. This is very exciting for me. I actually wrote an entire course for couples who are in pre-engagement. It's not formal marriage preparation because they're not engaged yet. It's actually meant for couples who are in this pre-engagement stage, right? They're dating and now they're seriously dating and they really want to discern more. So I'm really pumped because we are working to get that filmed so that we can have that be something that is accessible to you. But until that is the case, or if you don't want to do that and you just want a couple of questions, I'm going to kind of give you some options today of what to do with your significant other when you're in pre-engagement. One of the really, really awesome things about being Catholic that I love is we often have people, anyone from fathers of the church to more recent popes and saints, who talk about real life things. And when they're talking about it, we can apply it to our everyday life. So this idea of pre-engagement kind of honestly came from my own discernment. I had two really successful discernments, one ending in a breakup, one ending in marriage. Both of them went through pre-engagement, and it was vital to the discernment being able to move forward. And as I'd gone through one of them already, the breakup, when I was in grad school studying this stuff, and I came across this document that Pope John Paul II, had written called Familiaris Consortio. In this document, he talks about different stages of marriage preparation, which I thought was really creative because I had only heard about the engagement stage of marriage preparation where you're engaged and then you do whatever the church tells you so that you can get married there. But when I actually started kind of diving into that, I was like, yeah, that's really not enough time. Like, there should be more out there across years, really, for people to use to discern marriage and to be formed in marriage preparation, if you will. So one of the stages that he has listed is called proximate preparation. And in my Next Step course, and anytime someone asks me this question, which is quite frequently, I always reference the things that John Paul II talks about in proximate preparation because, one, he's way smarter than me, and two, why invent the wheel? If he already has these awesome topics that you can talk about before you're engaged, but when you're preparing for marriage, why not use all of those? That man is so wise. So I thought that in this video, I could give you just a couple of those, and then I'll give you some questions that you can ask each other when you're in that stage. Number one, getting to know each other on a deeper level, right? Deep diving into each other's hearts. One of the things that John Paul II talks about in proximate preparation is presenting marriage as an interpersonal relationship of a man and a woman that has to be continually developed, okay? So when you think about a relationship that has to be continually developed, what I think about is, I just want to know more about you. I want to know more about what makes you tick. I want to know more about what you like, about what you don't like. So I would spend some time really asking each other about those things. What are the things that you like the most about any given topic, right? It can be something easy like food and travel. It can be something really complicated like what do you like when you're sad? Like when you're really angry, when you're sad, how can someone comfort you? How could I comfort you? How do you like to be comforted? How did you like to be comforted when you were a kid? How did you not like to be comforted when you were a kid, right? So you can kind of take multiple different avenues and angles around getting to know someone deeper and deeper and deeper. If you think of something that you like or that you don't like about any given topic, ask your partner, what they like or don't like about that given topic. Does that make sense? I'm being intentionally broad because you can be very broad here. There's really no end to the number of questions you could ask about this topic in particular. Number 2, education of children. This is something, honestly, when you look at marriage prep now, the marriage prep options for people who, the traditional kind of typical marriage prep when you're already engaged, there's not a lot of talk about kids, which is astonishing to me because most people are going to have them when they get married, right? And honestly, in the vows, you vow to be open to them. So unless there's something going on with your bodies, you're going to end up with children one day if you're open to life. And so it's astonishing to me that someone could be sitting there and within a calendar year have a baby, right? If they have a honeymoon baby or something, and then there's really not a lot of formation about children. So this is a topic that you can really dive into in pre-engagement. Talk about maybe not obviously. I'm assuming you guys have already asked questions like, how many kids do you want in your ideal world, okay? But have conversations about like, why do you want that many number of children? Where did that idea come from, right? Where did you kind of get the first idea that this is the family size you want? What kind of school do you want to do for those kids? Maybe that's something you guys have already asked before, maybe public, private, homeschool, that kind of thing has already come up, but dive a little bit deeper into that. What does it mean? Ask each other, what does it mean to be the primary educators of our children, okay? That's something that the Catechism is very particular about. It stresses the importance of parents as primary educators. But what does that mean? Lots of people who are dating who think that parenthood is a long way off, or maybe it is for them, aren't thinking about this. But John Paul II says this is something we should be talking about even before we're engaged. So talk about that. Talk about disciplining children, right? What worked for you when you were a kid with the way your parents disciplined you? What didn't work? What did you see in your friends' families when they were growing up that worked or that didn't work? Was there ever something that you were like, I'm never going to do this, or I'm always going to do this, right? Those areas are actually things that you will develop a lot later in your life as you're praying through these promises, these vows you made as children. So taking kind of stock of those and talking through them, that could be really helpful too. Number 3, family culture. One of the really cool things about a family is you have your own unique family culture, right? If you think about like an office culture, maybe your company has an office culture and there's a mission statement or different things that the company does to really promote this culture that they have. Families should also have the same kind of thing, this culture that makes it makes us the Busbys and it makes us distinct from the Wests and the Clarks, right? There are differences and uniquenesses within each family. So talking about elements of your family culture could be really helpful. And it can be anything as kind of simple and easy as like, what did you guys do for holidays? Maybe you've already talked about this stuff, but dive a little bit deeper, into those questions, right? Take it to the next level. What was the very worst family holiday you ever had and why? What was the best family holiday you ever had and why? What holidays are like non-negotiable, we're always going to celebrate them, and what holidays are something that I could give up? In pre-engagement, this was when I found out that my husband hates Valentine's Day. Who hates Valentine's Day? Ross Busby. Ross Busby hates Valentine's Day, right? So we were able to have a conversation about it. Thank God, because I don't hate Valentine's Day. So it was very important to have that conversation and make sure that we were on the same page about it, right? But things like that. But it can also be more in-depth things like how is our family going to react to suffering? Okay, so what did my family do growing up when I didn't make the team, or I got bullied at school, or I broke my leg or something, or someone died? Like, how did my family react to that suffering? Did I like the way that my parents responded? Did I not like the way my parents responded? Have I learned anything since that informs, I would like to do something a little bit different, etc. So anyway, positive and negative. I could literally go on and on and on and on and on about this. The questions are endless, but those are some ideas. If this is something you really like, send me a message on Instagram and I would be happy to dive deeper in another video about, more questions, more topics, etc. But I'm going to leave you with that. I hope you found this video helpful for you. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment if you want. And I look forward to seeing you next time.